Hey guys, it's New LP here again, and I've already started a new LP, and you just saw was Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. I don't know many people have played this game, and so I decided I'd get it out there. And besides, now even after one night of recording, Tony Hawk's Underground 2, I'm still gonna finish it, but my disc has got ruined, so I have to wait for my friend to come out so I can get a new one. But so the whole reason I chose this game was, first off, let me tell you, this is a Wii game, and it is there's several in a series of games, and they're all called Fire Emblem, but they all have different titles or stuff after it to make it a different game. And right now I'm choosing easy because I don't want to embarrass myself. I mean, I'll embarrass myself playing on easy, so normal was way too hard for me, even though I have played it before. But this is probably one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game, for the Wii. And there's a scene, and I'm still having problems with my audio. I'm waiting for something to happen. I need to get more plugs and all this. I'm just going on with it until I get this done. And so I'll just explain the scene. You can also read the captions at the bottom to see what the people are saying. This scene shows that girl right there. Her name is Micaiah, and she has a bird with her who she calls Yune. And these guards are searching after her because she's part of a group called the Dawn Brigade, which is a group of mercenaries, I guess you could say, but they're kind of like they're helping out the poor people of their society, of their country, which in the last game was defeated in a war. And you might hear me reference the last game a lot. It's because some plot points and characters are related from the last game. And so right here, they're still showing the scene about, and you saw that her bird flew out. Her bird made a noise, and it caught the guards' attention. But now um, they saw her. The trick didn't work out where she let her bird go. And I know I'm telling you the obvious things where, oh, she got caught, but I'm trying to explain it the best way I can because audio would have done a lot better, but of course, when I need it, it's not working. And so she's still getting captured. She's still with the guards, and she's a pretty helpless fighter. The Dawn Brigade consists of 5 members, 5 original members, and they'll all be seen sooner or later. Right there is the second member, and that is Sothi. And from the last game, Sothi was a pipsqueak, really. He was no good at fighting. He served under Ike, which is another main character in this game that I'll come into later. But Sothi kind of idolizes Ike and started fighting more because of him. And as you see, he has gotten better at fighting, and it's more of he's trained more just to stand up to Ike and be as good as him. But you can see Sothi uses knives, and weapons come into play later, and Micaiah uses light tombs, which just allow her to use light magic. And this game's cutscenes are very good. The game's story is very good, and I wish I had audio to show you guys, even though I'll probably explain most of it anyways. Right now it's showing Navasa, which is the capital of Dan, where the Dawn Brigade is, and it's the whole country of Dan is in major poverty, and it's not doing well because of the previous game. Like I said, it lost a war against Crimea, and now the game actually started. So I guess I should start explaining that, and I can explain the story later on as it gets better. First off, I changed my settings for fast game speed and fast message speed so we can get through it a little quicker, but I'm still showing the game animations like this. This game is a strategy game where you control more of an army and pick up units along the way, train them so that you will be able to survive against long waves of enemies. Right now, we're fighting a few bandits, and as you saw right there, Micaiah uses light team still, just like in the cutscene. And this is Edward, another member of the Dawn Brigade. He's the newest member, and he's new to fighting, and he uses swords. He's an okay fighter in the game, and overall, if you use him, he could be one of your better units. But I normally do not use him, even though in this playthrough I'm going to try to use everybody equally. I might not end up doing that because it's kind of hard when you have so many tempting options in front of you, when you have strong people and you have all these weak people. Right here is the fourth member of the Dawn Brigade showing up. This is who Makai and Edward were waiting for before they started fighting, and his name is Leonardo, and he's an archer, and of course archers use bows. And something I should explain about this game is the class system. Like I've been saying, like he's an archer, Edward's a myrmidon, and Makai is a light mage, and each class can turn into different classes when reached to level 21 or use a special item on them. And you have to be at least level 10 to use the item, or just get up to 21 by yourself. And when you do that, you get more abilities, like more weapon choices can open up to you, or you're more profound with your weapon, or you use your weapon better. So, or you gain more skills. And skills, I don't use a lot, and I don't even focus on really. But I'm gonna try to use them more in this to explain them and show them off, because some are cool and some are just out there. Like some don't even sound like they'd be helpful. And so right here, I'm looking at the levels between Leonardo and Micaiah to see who should defeat this bandit to get more experience. I chose Micaiah since she's still only level 1, and she's a lord, and lords have to survive. If the lord dies, it's a game over. If anybody else dies, you just can't use them for the rest of the series. And I'm going to try to go for a no-death run of this game. And so that's very important to have people still at strong levels, even though she's a lord and it would be game over. I don't want to get a game over in this game either. And so right now I'm moving my team up towards the boss, because to win this map, what you have to do is you have to rout the enemy, which means just defeat any enemy that shows up. And so we're moving up towards the boss, and the best way to defeat him is go attack from range both times with both Leonardo and Micaiah at first, like I'm doing here. Micaiah they're talking, and he's saying he'll sell Micaiah if she gets defeated, but you know, it's just a little cutscene, a little knowledge, how people see her, what they would do. But here's Micaiah attacking. She does okay damage, and she has really good accuracy. She couldn't have missed at that right there. And then here's Leonardo. He's strong and accurate, but in this he had only 82% chance of hitting, which, you know, still is a high chance, and he only did 6 damage, so he did less than Micaiah, even at level 4. But he still is a good unit to have, and he does get stronger. And now Edward is attacking from close, so this guy cannot move past Edward to attack anybody else, blocking him off, and kind of making him useless and making him not be able to attack your weaker units. And as you can see, he does 6 more damage to Edward, but Edward still finishes him off and gets experience. And when you defeat a boss, the boss mainly gives you like 100 experience and will give you a full bar and get you close to where you were before. And after you defeat the boss, either we'll go into a cutscene or somebody will say something to finish off the map. Right now, these three are talking, and they're just saying how the battle was done good. And I know you guys can read, so this is kind of redundant me telling you, but I just need something to talk about during this part. Right now, 2 villagers are coming up, and the 2 villagers are kind of important to the series. Well, they're not like extremely important, but you will see them later on, at least one of them. And so, as Micaiah is saying goodbye, because the whole reason they fought those bandits was to protect the people, and these 2 people were talking to them before they started fighting. Now they're running off, and right here there's a man, and his name's General Gerard, and he is kind of the, I guess you could say, enemy or antagonist of this part. And so you'll be seeing a lot of him and how kind of corrupt he is, and I gotta say he is one of the really corrupt people in this game. As you see, the soldiers talking about how they think that was the Dawn Brigade, and of course we know it is, but they have no clue who the Dawn Brigade really is at this time. And as you see, they're still talking about him. They're saying, we think that's them, and we lost them before. And here's where you first start to see General Gerard as a corrupt person. He attacks his own soldier just because he made one mistake. And that one mistake, no matter how bad it is, as long as it's not treason, you won't die, but this guy doesn't take mistakes. If you mess up once, he's going to kill you because he's just that bad of a leader, and he thinks he overpowers everybody, and everybody else is stupid besides his partner that just talked there. And so after that cutscene, we are at the saving screen, and so I save my file. As you see, I play this game a lot, and I enjoy it that much to where I can keep playing this over and over. And so right here, all it's really talking about, I just got this little bit in. Tellius is the name of the place, and it says the year 648, and it's early summer. None of that's really important except that this is Tellius, and that's the whole place that we're in, the whole continent. And so there's several parts to it, and when the map comes up again, I can tell you about it. Right now, we're in Dan, and Dan is where the people lost the war to in the last game. And there's their neighboring countries called Crimea, and Crimea was the people who won the war and who was Ike's with and who Sothi fought with to take over Dan because they were corrupt because they had a mad king before. And then Benyan is the part of Tellius that's now controlling over Dan because Crimea gave them the power. And so, as you see, Sothi right now pops up and says Crimea didn't have the resources to control a whole country. And so everybody blames Crimea for giving Benyan the power over Dan, and that's why Dan's gone down. But it's really not Crimea's fault, just because they didn't want to bring another country down with them. And so they gave it up. And now they're still talking. They're telling Sothi and Nolan how they fought the bandits and how they were seen. And Sothi and Nolan are kind of the leaders of the Dawn Brigade, even though Micaiah is the main person. Sothi and Nolan are the two older people who take care of everybody else and are probably the two stronger people. And so they're saying we can't stay here, and so we have to leave. And as we're going to be leaving, of course there will be more talking and more stories about what's going on and more fights as well. But they say they can't stay there because too many people know it. And right here is the start of the next stage, and it's going really fast because I had some skips. But it was only a couple. It wasn't that much, and it's just talking about Nolan says we have to go up through the market and get to the back. We can't wait for Sothi, and so we're just going to go right now. And he says he should lead the way, and Micaiah and Leonardo cover his back, and Edward stay back because, like I said, Edward has the least amount of experience, and Micaiah and Leonardo are at range, so they cannot get attacked back as long as the other enemy does not have an ranged weapon. And right here, it's talking about the boss, which I'll explain in the next episode. But this is new up here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you continue watching. Thank you. Bye.